We'll start here, position at a standstill, position at a halt. Always I start with a stirrup iron. You'll see that this stirrup iron of Darrah's is heavy duty stainless steel. That's my preference of a stirrup iron. It anchors the rider's leg. It gives him the best support. You'll see the stirrup iron is slightly angled on the ball of his foot. The outside branch is close to the little toe. The little toe actually touches the outside branch of the stirrup iron. You'll see that slight angle. That's not only aesthetic, that keeps the toe from going out too far when you angle the stirrup like that, but it looks better. Next we get to the heel. The heel is lower than the toe. That should, most of the time on a horse, that should be true, even with very long dressage stirrups. The heel is lower than the toe. That gives you security. That also gives a certain grip to your legs. You'll see the ankle of the rider is flexed and his toes are out of shade. Her toes are out of shade. You'll see the contact in her lower leg. There's an even distribution of contact between her thigh, inner knee bone, and the calf of her leg. This, we say, is the rider's leg. Leg is from the knee on down. There are four parts of the rider's body. The first part is the leg from the knee on down. Next we have the base of support, all parts touching the saddle. Next is the upper body, all parts above the base. And fourth are the arms and hands. Fourth part of the body, arms and hands. Those four parts, if correct, put us in an intangible fifth part, which is called balance. Balance or equilibrium. But we talk about the four tangible parts of the body: leg, base, upper body, arms, and hands. Those, you'll see with these two riders, are very, very close to correct all the time. Next we go up to the base of support. The base of support should constantly seek the front or the pommel of the saddle, not the back or the cantle, which puts a rider out of balance too far behind his horse, and also crushing the weak part of the horse's back, the loins of the horse. So the base of support is close to the front of the saddle, rests on 3 points: the crotch and the two seat bones, and the buttocks are out to the rear. Not this way where they tuck their spine under, or a fork seat, a crotch seat like this with the buttock too far out to the rear, but on 3 points where they're resting crotch and both seat bones. This puts them in a position to talk about their upper body. The upper body will start with eyes. Most of the time the eyes are up and ahead, just like driving a car. This gives the indication of posture, correct posture. The chest is up, or what in right riding terms is called vaulted. The chest is up and vaulted. This lets the back slightly hollow. If that back is slightly hollow and firm, again the loins of the rider are hollow and slightly firm, that gives strength to the back, which in turn makes the legs stronger and the hands stronger. So the loin should be slightly hollow, chest up and vaulted, shoulders relaxed and hanging down, eyes up and ahead. And a good tip, teachers, is the back of your neck touches the back of your collar. Bill Steinkraus taught me that. The back of the neck touches the back of the collar. That's the upper body. Fourth part, basic position at a halt, is arms and hands. The most critical part of that advice is a straight line, elbow to the mouth, not all the time, but most of the time. That there's a straight line that provides the best contact, the best communication to the horse's mouth. Often people ride too low or too high. That breaks the perfect contact to the horse's mouth. The wrist, most of the time, I say most of the time because it's not fixed. Nothing on a horse is absolute. Nothing's absolute. Most of the time, the wrist is quite straight. That's an extension of your forearm. If there's flexion, it should flex this way, not a cock wrist that way. The flexion of the wrist is this way for suppleness. You want your rider's thumbs just inside the vertical, not flat washboard hands or inverted thumbs, but just inside the vertical most of the time. The basic position is about the width of the horse's mouth. Of course, if you're on a green horse, you open the chute for better steering like that. Or if you're using a leading rein, it's quite wide. The fingers are closed, and you use your hands with a grip, not a pull. That's the basic position at a halt. You see it very well. Now, if I could ask you to take the track to the right. Now stop your horses again. You'll see at a standstill, at a halt, the upper body is imperceptibly in front of the vertical. They're on their crotch and two-seat bone, and the upper body is imperceptibly in front of the vertical. So when the horse moves off, they're not left behind. They're with the motion of the horse. Walk off. Now walking, the upper body is slightly in front of the vertical. We would say about 5 degrees. For this discipline of riding, for hunter jumper equitation, this isn't competition dressage, which is further back, where the rider is always on the vertical or even behind it. You'll see how their loins are hollow, their chest is up and out. You're too far back, Dara, you're too far back. Pick up your hands a little bit. I want your upper body slightly in front of the vertical, not too far back. Now sit the trot, just keep that trot slow. This is approximately the same position as walking is a sitting trot. And Cynthia, you constantly work with your back, lift your chest, keep your back hollow. You're too far forward. You'll see this is the right position of a sitting trot here. Put your foot slightly in the stirrup, not the tip of your toe, Dara, and touch the outside of the stirrup iron. Posting trot. This is a considerable difference as to be over your base of support. The body has to shift to the front. Keep their back hollow and your chest up and out. Watch your back, Cynthia, that it's not too soft. This is a different position than the sitting trot, and it's inclined forward up to 30 degrees. Put your foot in your stirrup, Dara. It's too far to your toe, and keep your stirrup on that angle that you have. Walk. Well, now they straighten up by stretching their spine. That fixes the back in the transition to stretch the spine, or also called bracing the back. Now pick up your kata. This is the same position as the sitting trot and the walk, slightly in front of the vertical, like Dara is demonstrating. Watch teachers, they have a straight line, elbow to the horse's mouth. If their hands are too low, it'll roach their back. You have to constantly carry your hands, Cynthia, a little higher and keep your back a little hollow. Now this is the position excellently demonstrated for kata. Now put your horse in a galloping position. Don't go too fast. What's important here is in suspension on the horse. We call it, just for convenience, two-point contact. You'll see both legs are on the horse. The seat is slightly out of the saddle. So the 2 points are the 2 legs. Now sit the kata. Slow the kata, sit the kata, straighten up a little bit. This we call 3-point contact because the seat or crotch and both legs are on the horse in riding.